Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're diving into the world of headless commerce. I bet you've heard that term thrown around a lot lately, especially in the e-commerce space.
Yeah, definitely a hot topic.
Whether you're gearing up for a big meeting or just can't shake that curiosity, we're going to break it all down for you, nice and quick. Our source material for this deep dive is a fascinating article titled Exploring Headless Commerce Definition and Minute, meaning 2025.
Catchy.
It really gets into the nitty-gritty, from defining what headless commerce actually is to exploring its benefits and even showcasing some companies who are absolutely crushing it with this approach.
Love those real-world examples. Always helps to see it in action.
Right. And get this, right off the bat, the article hits you with this mind-blowing statistic. Global e-commerce sales are projected to reach a whopping $6.8 trillion this year.
Trillion with a T.
Trillion with a T. So figuring out how to stand out online, kind of a big deal for businesses right now.
Understatement of the year.
That's where our expert comes in. They're here to help us cut through the noise.
Happy to be here.
And get to those so what insights. We're not just going to tell you what headless commerce is, but more importantly, why it matters and how you can actually use this knowledge.
That's the key, right? Making it practical.
Absolutely. So let's start with the basics. What exactly is headless commerce?
Okay, so imagine this. Traditional e-commerce, it's like walking into a furniture store and buying a pre-assembled bookshelf.
Okay, I can see that.
It's convenient, it does the job, but you're stuck with whatever the manufacturer decided.
Limited options. Got it.
Right. Headless commerce, on the other hand, it's like getting all the raw materials, the wood, the screws, the instructions, and building your own custom bookshelf. You have complete control over the design, the size, the functionality.
Ah, so you're saying more flexibility, more customization.
Precisely.
The article has this handy comparison table that really highlights this. Under adaptability, it says traditional e-commerce is limited, while headless is high.
And that's a huge difference. Imagine you're running a flash sale, and suddenly you've got thousands of people flooding your website. A traditional system might buckle under that pressure, maybe even crash.
Not good.
Definitely not. But a headless system, it can handle those spikes like a champ.
Why is that?
Because the front end, what customers see, is completely decoupled from the back end, the behind-the-scenes stuff.
Ah, so it's like having two separate teams. They can each scale up as needed without bringing the whole house down.
You got it. That's the beauty of headless.
So scalability is a biggie.
Huge.
The article actually lists 5 key benefits of headless commerce.
5. Let's hear them.
All right, number 1, unmatched flexibility for customization, which totally makes sense given what we've been talking about.
It's about creating those one-of-a-kind shopping experiences, ones that truly reflect a brand's personality.
So standing out from the crowd.
Exactly. Instead of being confined by templates or preset options, businesses can tailor the online experience to their specific vision.
Okay, I like that. Benefit number 2, enhanced website performance.
Ah, now we're talking.
I have a feeling you're going to love this one.
Faster websites mean happier customers, period. And in today's world where everyone's attention span is, what, 5 seconds?
If that.
Right, speed is everything.
So in a world where every millisecond counts, headless commerce is giving businesses a serious edge.
Think about it. Quick loading times equal less frustration, a smoother shopping experience, and ultimately more conversions.
It all makes sense. The next benefit listed is scalable architecture for business growth.
Future-proofing, that's what that's all about.
So not just handling those sudden traffic spikes, but also growing without having to rip and replace your whole system every time you hit a new milestone.
Exactly. Add new features, integrate new technologies, expand into new markets, all without starting from scratch.
Okay, so future-proofing is huge.
Massive.
Next up, we have omnichannel consistency.
The holy grail of e-commerce.
Basically, creating a seamless brand experience, whether someone's on your website, your mobile app, heck, even their smartwatch.
It's about meeting customers where they are on their terms and providing that consistent wow factor across all channels.
So no matter how a customer is interacting with a brand, they have that they really get me feeling.
Precisely.
All right, and the last key benefit the article highlights, effortless integration with third-party tools.
Streamlining operations.
So plugging into your CRM to personalize marketing, automating your inventory management, that kind of thing.
Exactly. It's about building a system that works seamlessly with all the other tools a business relies on.
Makes sense. Now, the article mentions 4 specific technologies that often play a role in headless commerce.
Oh, the techie stuff. Love it.
CMS, PWA, CRM, and DXP.
The building blocks.
Let's break these down one by one, starting with CMS, which stands for Content Management System.
The brains of the operation.
I was thinking more like the heart, pumping out all the content.
Okay, I like that. The heart of the content operation.
Right. Product information, images, descriptions, blog posts, all that good stuff.
And get this, the headless CMS market is projected to hit over $3.8 billion by 2028.
Whoa, that's a huge jump. What's driving that growth?
It's a clear signal. Businesses are waking up to the power and flexibility of a headless CMS. It's not just about managing content, it's about having the freedom to deliver that content anywhere.
So, breaking free from those website-only limitations.
Exactly. Website, mobile app, voice assistant, you name it.
Okay, so having a great website is important, but having a great online presence is the real goal.
Especially in today's omnichannel world, customers are everywhere.
All right, that makes a lot of sense. Let's move on to PWAs, which stands for Progressive Web Apps.
Now, these are cool.
So what exactly are they?
Think of it as a website that has superpowers. It acts like an app.
Superpowers, huh? I'm intrigued.
Offline functionality, push notifications, and that smooth app-like experience, but still accessible through a web browser.
So, best of both worlds.
You got it.
What are some of the benefits of using a PWA with a headless commerce setup?
Think about a customer who's browsing your products, but their internet connection is spotty.
Happens all the time.
With a PWA, they can still browse, even add items to their cart.
No more frustration, lost sales. I like it.
The article actually mentions that when Alibaba implemented a PWA with a headless structure, they saw a 76% increase in mobile conversion rates.
Wow, a 76% increase. That's massive.
It's about speed, user experience, and convenience.
Clearly, PWAs are a key piece of the headless commerce puzzle.
Absolutely.
Okay, next up is CRM, which stands for Customer Relationship Management.
Managing those customer relationships. Crucial.
I think most businesses are pretty familiar with CRM by now.
Right.
But what makes it different in a headless setup?
It's about how you UEC that customer data. Headless gives you so much more flexibility.
Okay, give me an example.
Imagine personalizing product recommendations on the fly, sending tailored offers based on browsing history, even using AI to predict a customer's next move.
So it's like having a personal shopper for each customer, but powered by data and technology.
You got it.
The article mentions Sephora seeing a 50% increase in mobile conversions after going headless with their CRM.
That's what it's all about.
So it's not just about managing relationships, it's about leveraging them to create those incredible personalized experiences.
Experiences that drive sales.
Exactly. All right, last but not least, we have DXP, which stands for Digital Experience Platform.
This is the big kahuna, a central hub for managing and delivering amazing digital experiences across all channels.
Okay, so it's like the conductor of an orchestra, making sure all the different parts are working together in harmony.
I like that. It usually includes things like content management, personalization, analytics, marketing automation, you name it.
So when you combine a DXP with headless commerce, you're basically creating this powerhouse system for creating seamless, personalized experiences at every single touch point.
It's about connecting the dots, creating that cohesive journey for the customer.
The article talks about brands like Adidas seeing a 40% increase in online sales after implementing a headless commerce DXP.
DXPs, they're powerful stuff.
Okay, before we get too lost in the technical weeds, let's bring it back to the real world for a second.
Love it.
The article has this great case study about a company called Decanta.
Decanta, okay.
They were facing some pretty common e-commerce challenges. Slow website performance, difficulty scaling.
Ah, the growing pains.
Right. They were growing, but their technology was holding them back.
Classic problem.
So they decided to take the plunge and switch to headless commerce.
Brave move. What happened?
The results were pretty incredible. They saw a 50% improvement in website performance,
Wow.
a 30% boost in customer engagement,
Impressive.
a 40% surge in organic traffic,
Keep going.
and a 35% growth in sales.
Okay, now we're talking. That's a serious transformation.
It really is. Headless commerce completely changed the game for them.
And it's not just Decanta. The article suggests that many companies are seeing similar results.
Which is super encouraging. But before we get too carried away, we need to acknowledge that headless commerce isn't a magic bullet.
Right, it's not for everyone.
The article makes it clear that it might not be the right fit for every business.
Truth. There are some things to consider.
Like what?
Well, for starters, it can be more complex to implement and maintain.
So not exactly a plug-and-play solution.
Definitely not.
And I imagine it requires a pretty specific skill set.
You need a team that's comfortable with APIs, microservices, all the intricacies of headless architecture.
Okay, so if you're not super tech savvy, it might be worth partnering with an agency or consultant who specializes in this stuff.
Sound advice.
So headless commerce has the potential to be incredibly powerful, but it's definitely not a decision to be made lightly.
It's an investment that requires careful planning and the right resources.
All right, I think that's a great place to wrap up part 1 of our deep dive into headless commerce.
We've laid some solid groundwork.
We've explored what headless commerce is, why it matters, and some key things to consider before taking the plunge.
Stay tuned for more.
In part 2, we'll be diving deeper into how all of this impacts the customer experience, as well as exploring some more of those key technologies and implementation strategies.
Can't wait. You know, something that really caught my eye in the article was the statistic. It said that by 2028, online retail purchases are expected to make up almost a quarter of all retail sales.
Wow.
It's a big shift.
So basically, if your business isn't killing it online, in a few years, you're going to be in trouble.
Yeah, it's a real possibility. And, you know, it's not just websites anymore either. Customers are on their phones, on voice assistants, smartwatches, you name it.
Everywhere.
And headless commerce really helps businesses meet those customers wherever they are, you know, with that consistent, engaging experience.
Okay, so it's not just about keeping up with the Joneses. It's about actual business survival.
Yeah, in a way it is. I mean, it's about adapting, right, to this crazy, fast-changing landscape and figuring out how to create experiences that customers actually want.
Okay, so we've talked about how headless commerce can really benefit businesses, make them more competitive, help them grow.
Right.
But the article also dives into how this shift benefits customers directly.
Oh, for sure, for sure.
Not just the businesses using this tech.
Yeah, it's a win-win situation. You know, when businesses have a better experience, it usually means customers have a better experience too.
Right, because happy businesses lead to happy customers.
Exactly.
So the article specifically calls out greater scalability and flexibility as a direct customer benefit.
Well, yeah, because that translates to, you know, a smoother experience for the shopper, right?
Right. So if a business can quickly implement new features and updates,
Exactly.
customers benefit from those innovations faster.
It's like having the newest, shiniest version of everything all the time.
Ooh, I like Janie. And the article also talks about seamless user experience, which I feel like is pretty self-explanatory.
It is. It is, I mean. It's about making things easy and intuitive for the customer. But it also goes a bit deeper than that. You know, with headless commerce, developers have more control over that front-end experience, the part that the customer actually sees.
Okay.
So you can really fine-tune it, create something that feels custom-made no matter what device they're using.
So no more of those clunky mobile sites or apps that feel like they were thrown together as an afterthought.
No. It's all about creating that smooth, tailored experience.
Okay, so that's seamless user experience. And, of course, the article highlights faster page loading times as a major plus for customers.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, who wants to wait for a page to load, right?
No one.
It's 2025. We're all about instant gratification these days.
Exactly. And, you know, there's data to back that up.
Oh.
Yeah, studies have shown that even like a 1-second delay in page load time can lead to a significant drop in sales.
Really?
It's crazy, right?
It is.
So yeah, headless commerce can really help businesses achieve those lightning-fast loading times. And that means happier customers, less frustration, more sales.
Makes sense. So speed is key.
Speed is king.
Okay. And then, of course, there's the benefit of a better mobile experience.
Yeah.
Which is kind of a no-brainer at this point, right?
It's huge. Mobile commerce is just getting bigger every year. And, you know, customers expect a top-notch experience on their phones.
For sure.
Headless lets you build those mobile-first experiences, you know, optimized for smaller screens, touch interactions, all that good stuff.
So no more pinching and zooming.
No more pinching and zooming.
Just to read a product description.
Exactly.
Hallelujah. Okay, and then the article mentions integration with third-party services, which I imagine opens up a ton of possibilities.
Oh, yeah, for sure. You can integrate payment gateways for easy checkout, shipping providers for smooth deliveries, loyalty programs for rewards, all sorts of things that can really enhance the customer experience.
So it's about creating a whole ecosystem, not just a standalone store.
Exactly. Connecting the dots and, you know, making the whole shopping journey as smooth as possible.
Love it. Okay, so we've got seamless experience, faster loading times, better mobile experience.
Mm-hmm.
What else? What other benefits does the article highlight for customers?
Well, one that's becoming increasingly important is improved security and privacy.
Yeah, that's a big one.
Huge, especially these days.
Because let's be real, everyone's a little bit paranoid about their data these days.
Rightfully so.
So how does headless commerce actually improve security?
Well, for one, businesses can implement those latest security protocols. And because data is kind of spread out across multiple systems, it's harder for hackers to get their hands on those big chunks of sensitive information.
So it's kind of like a security by obscurity approach.
Yeah, you could say that.
Okay, so customers can shop with confidence,
That's the goal.
knowing that their information is safe.
Exactly. It's about building that trust. And trust is essential for any good customer relationship.
Makes sense.
And speaking of building good relationships,
Yeah.
the article gets into something that I find really fascinating: personalized content.
Ooh, personalized content.
Yeah.
Tell me more.
This is where headless commerce really shines, okay? Because the front end and the back end are separate, right?
Right.
You have way more flexibility in how you present that content.
Okay.
So you can personalize product recommendations, create those tailor-made offers, even change the whole look and feel of the site based on what you know about a specific customer.
So it's like having that personal stylist.
Yeah.
Or personal shopper.
Yeah, exactly.
Who knows your tastes, anticipates your needs.
Exactly. It's all about creating that curated experience.
I love that.
Yeah.
No more generic one-size-fits-all marketing blasts.
No. This is the future of shop.
It really feels like it.
It does.
Okay, so you got personalized content, which of course leads to higher engagement.
Of course.
More sales, happy businesses, happy customers.
Everyone wins.
All right, so we've covered how headless commerce benefits businesses.
Right.
We've covered how it benefits customers. But now let's get practical.
Let's do it.
How do you actually make this happen?
Okay.
The article gives some advice on how to choose the right platform,
Yeah.
how to get started,
Right.
and it really stresses the importance of being strategic.
Absolutely. Because headless commerce, it's not one size fits all.
Right.
You really need to think about your specific needs and goals.
The article actually says to figure out your business needs and goals before you even start looking at different platforms.
I mean, crucial it is.
Why is that so important?
Well, you need to understand your pain points. What are you hoping to achieve with headless commerce? Once you have that clear understanding, then you can start evaluating platforms.
Okay.
See which one is the best fit.
So it's not about just jumping on the latest trend.
No.
It's about making a smart decision for your business.
Exactly. Headless commerce is a powerful tool, but only if you use it strategically.
Okay, so let's say you've done your homework. You know what you need. You're ready to start looking at platforms. What should businesses be looking for?
Well, there are a lot of factors to consider: ease of integration, scalability, security, support. These are all critical.
So it's not just about the features.
Yeah.
It's about the whole package.
You need to make sure that platform can handle your specific requirements
Right.
and that it can grow with your business. Think long-term.
Future-proofing.
Future-proofing, exactly.
The article also mentions having experienced developers on your team.
Oh, yeah. That's key.
Because headless commerce does require a high level of technical expertise.
It does. You need a team that understands APIs, microservices, all those complex bits.
If you're not comfortable with that level of technical involvement, you might want to consider partnering with an agency or a consultant.
Yeah, definitely a good option.
So this is not a DIY project.
Not for the faint of heart, no.
It's an investment. And like any investment you need to make sure you have the right resources in place.
Couldn't agree more.
Okay, so you've got your platform, you've got your team. What else? What other advice does the article give?
Well, they talk about planning for scalability and growth.
Making sure your implementation can handle increased traffic, more transactions. As your business grows, you don't want to hit a wall when you have that big traffic spike.
So build for the future, not just for today.
Exactly. And finally, they talk about investing in ongoing training and support.
Makes sense.
The e-commerce world is always changing.
Always.
So your team needs to stay up to date on the latest and greatest.
So it's like getting regular tune-ups for your car,
Like that.
but for your online business.
Yeah, keep things running smoothly.
All right, so we've talked about the benefits of headless commerce, the process of getting started, even some key technologies. But let's be real, no technology is perfect.
True.
What are some of the potential challenges that businesses might face with headless commerce?
Right. It's not all sunshine and roses. there are definitely some downsides to consider.
The biggest one seems to be those higher development costs.
That's a big one.
The article talks about the fact that there's often more upfront work.
Which means more money out the door initially.
Exactly, because you're dealing with multiple systems, integrations. You often need that more specialized skill set,
Okay.
which can mean higher development costs.
So it's an investment that requires careful budgeting,
Oh, yeah.
careful planning.
Absolutely. And along with those higher development costs, you often have more complex implementation and maintenance.
Okay.
Again, because you're dealing with multiple systems, things can get a little bit more complicated behind the scenes.
Right.
So it's not just about building the system, it's about managing and maintaining it over time.
Which again might require a different set of skills.
Exactly.
Different resources.
Yep.
The article also mentions an increased reliance on third-party services, which could be both a good and a bad thing, right?
It's a trade-off for sure. On the one hand, you're getting all this specialized functionality, increased flexibility.
Right.
But on the other hand, you're relying on those services to work properly. If one of those services goes down, it could have a ripple effect on your entire operation.
So it's about carefully vetting those partners,
Oh, yeah.
making sure they're reliable and trustworthy.
Due diligence is key.
And of course, there's always the potential for security concerns.
Well, yeah, anytime you're dealing with sensitive customer data, security has to be top of mind.
Right. And with headless commerce, because you have all these different systems, all these different integrations, each of those touch points represents a potential vulnerability.
It does, it does.
So it's about having a solid security strategy in place from day one.
Absolutely. Security should never be an afterthought.
Okay, so we've talked about some of the potential challenges, but let's end on a more positive note.
Just do it.
The article gives some practical advice on how to actually succeed with headless commerce.
Okay, I like it.
So what are some of the key takeaways?
Well, I think it all boils down to being strategic and thoughtful in your approach.
Okay, the article starts off by saying, make sure your website is mobile first, which seems pretty obvious in 2025.
It does.
But I guess it's worth reiterating.
Yeah, I mean, mobile optimization, it's not an option anymore.
Right.
It's essential. Your website needs to be designed for mobile devices first and foremost.
Okay, so mobile first is a must.
A must.
Or else.
Choose the right CMS.
Okay.
Your content management system is crucial for managing and delivering content in a headless environment.
So it's like the engine that powers your content.
Yeah, that's a good way to think about it.
All right, and then there's hosting.
Oh, yeah, hosting isn't
Doesn't
great.
matter what kind of hosting you use.
It does. You need a provider that can support headless architecture.
Okay.
They need to provide the speed, the scalability, the security that your business demands.
So you can't just go with the cheapest option.
Probably not a good idea.
You need a hosting provider that understands headless commerce.
Exactly. Invest in a quality solution that can really support your growth.
Okay. And speaking of smooth experiences, the article also mentions making sure your payment gateway is set up correctly.
Oh, that's critical.
You want that checkout process to be as seamless as possible.
Absolutely.
Customers shouldn't have to jump through hoops or worry about their information.
Seamless and secure, that's the goal.
Exactly. And finally, the article emphasizes the importance of regular testing.
Testing, testing, testing.
Why is testing so important in a headless commerce environment?
Well, it helps you identify and resolve issues before they impact your customers.
Makes sense.
You know, you need to make sure your website is working properly, all the integrations are functioning smoothly, and the customer experience is top-notch.
So it's like preventative healthcare, but for your website.
I like that.
Regular checkups, maintenance.
Prevent those major headaches down the road.
All right, so we've really dug deep into this whole world of headless commerce.
We have. From the basics to the benefits, the tech, the good, the bad, the ugly.
Pretty much. And it's clear that it's powerful stuff.
Yeah.
But not a decision to be taken lightly. Lots to think about.
Definitely. It's like we said earlier, it's that custom-built house versus the one you just buy off the lot. More potential, but more responsibility, too.
Perfect analogy. So for our listeners out there probably thinking, okay, I get it, but where do I go from here? What's one question they should ask themselves to figure out if this whole headless thing is right for them?
That's a good one. I'd say the most important question is, what's my vision for the future of my online business?
Interesting. Why that question specifically?
Because headless commerce, it's about future-proofing. It's about building on a foundation that can adapt as technology changes, as customer expectations evolve.
Right. Those expectations are always changing.
Exactly. So if you're thinking about truly unique brand experiences, personalizing everything, integrating seamlessly with new tech as it comes out, well, that's where Headless shines.
So it's not about putting out today's fires. It's about being ready for tomorrow's opportunities.
You got it. Being proactive, not reactive. Building a business that's ready for whatever change comes next.
Which, let's face it, in the online world, change is constant.
Pretty much. It's about that sustainable, adaptable approach.
I love that. Think big, build for the future. Now, if our listener is intrigued, wants to learn even more, where should they go? Besides reading that full article, of course, links in the show notes.
Tons of amazing resources are out there. The whole headless commerce world is constantly evolving, so staying up to date is key.
Right. Can't just learn it once and be done.
Nope. Industry blogs, podcasts, online communities. There's a wealth of info to dive into.
And hey, don't be afraid to reach out to experts for guidance. There are consultants and agencies who live and breathe this stuff.
Exactly. Think of them like that trusted advisor, helping you build your roadmap to success.
Love it. Well, there we have it, folks. Our deep dive into headless commerce.
From the what to the why, the how, the when, we covered it all.
We did. Hopefully our listeners feeling a lot more informed, ready to make those smart decisions for their business.
Empowered to take that next step.
Exactly. And to our amazing listener, thank you for joining us on the deep dive. We hope you found this exploration insightful, maybe even a little bit inspiring. Remember, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep those questions coming. We'll see you on the next deep dive.